All right, thank you. Okay, so this was this is the assignment that Victoria submitted, which is, and I can see that she also played around with the opacity and probably texture in this text. So that's a good one. So today would be we'll be learning how to master layers in Photoshop. So if you have your app opened, please open your Photoshop, the software, and we'll be learning layers today, layers and text, layers and text. So in case you were not here last week, this is the home page of the software, of the Photoshop software. So what you want to do is, or what you want to do is you click on new file by the top left corner, and we're going to create a file. I'll go with 1920 times 1080. We'll choose this, come here, leave everything as default here, and just come here and create. Okay, so we want to learn layers today. After layers, we'll go on to text. So I want to show you basically what it is. So let's look at this image here. Let's use this image. So this is an image of a picture of a girl. Now, this is remember the layer is found on the layers panel is found on the right hand side of the software. Obviously, you can move it to anywhere you want to. I can move it here if I want to, but for my workspace, I can find it on the right hand corner. If you cannot find layers, come to Windows, layer, right? You can't find the window and click on layers here, and it's going to appear. So window, layers, and you have it there. So I want to show you what the layer can do. If we have, let's say we have this this lady here, and we take the brush tool, for example, and we draw, let's say we draw 3 circles. We draw a circle, change the foreground color to something we can see very clearly. And then we draw over this image, right? If we try to erase it, for example, let's assume we do not want this red circle anymore. You come to use the eraser tool, eraser. If your eraser tool is on the magic eraser tool, you right click and just come to eraser, or you can click and hold it, either of them. You right click to see the options. We want to make sure that we're on eraser, not on background eraser or magic eraser. You want to make sure you're on eraser. So you click on eraser. Now see what happens. If you try to erase this circle, you see that it is not only erasing the circle, but it's also erasing part of the image, right? Hold on. So it's also erasing part of the image. And that is not what we want. That's not what we're trying to achieve. I'll go back again. To undo what you did, you just press Ctrl Z. If you're using the Mac, Command and Z, Command Z. So what's where the layer comes in handy is that instead of having to deal with erasing the background when we want to erase something, what we just do is we come to this layers panel here, and there's a plus icon at the bottom. You click on the plus icon. Just in case you can't see this thing very clearly, the layer panel, in case you can't see it very clearly, you come to, you right click and click on medium or large thumbnails, depending on how, or on your preference. I like mine to be small, but if you can't see it, you can right click, like I said, on the layer and change the thumbnail, the size of the thumbnail to either medium or large. But for the purpose of this class, I'll leave it on medium, or as medium, set to medium. Then we come to layer, or we come to this plus icon here. This is what we're looking for, the plus icon. You click on the plus icon, and what it does is that it creates a new layer. You can see layer 1, and you can see layer 0. Now we come back to our brush icon, and to our brush tool, and we draw over the image again. Now, say we do not need this circle. You can use the eraser tool and simply erase it. Simply erase it. You see, this way it does not affect the background, right? This way it does not affect the background. So we're going to give another example of that. Say we draw where's the brush tool? We draw this shape here. Okay. Instead of doing that, let's play around with this lady. We want to draw something, and we draw this. Let's say, sorry. Remember, the shortcut for the brush tool is letter B. So just in case you want to use the brush tool, you don't always have to take your mouse to the brush tool. Just press the letter B and you have it. Now I want to draw, say, lines around this lady. You can change, you have the options bar here, like we explained last week. You can change, you can come here, or you can, once you're on the brush tool, you right click. So you either have the option of coming to the top or just right clicking from anywhere you are. And then you change the size of the brush. You can change the brush size and also the hardness. So here we have it at 0%. Let's take it to 100. And let's change this brush size to, say, 100 pixels. Okay, let's make it smaller. Let's put it at 40 pixels. Okay, this is good. Then just want to just draw around this girl, this lady. Okay. Now, say we make a mistake and we mess up our drawing. What you can just do is obviously come to the eraser tool. Again, just like the brush tool, you can change the size of the eraser. Here it is on 400 pixel, which obviously is going to be too big. So let's change it to the same size of the brush. We use 40, so 40, and then we erase. We can see that in trying to erase what you have here, you're also erasing the background. And that's not what we want. So Control Z, and what do? You come back to this place and add a layer, right? You add a layer and, sorry. You come back here You add the layer. Now, on this layer here, let's rename this layer and let's call it, to rename, you just double click on the layer and let's call it lines. Lines. So to rename, so now that you have renamed it, you come on this layer and go back to your brush tool. Shortcut is letter B, and you draw. You draw whatever line you want to draw on the lady. And when this happens, say you make a mistake, it's a mistake and you want to correct it, you can just go to your eraser again and erase it. You can see that this time when you erase, it does not affect your background image or the lady there. So since we're on eraser, let us just learn a few things about the eraser tool. So I'll zoom in. Now we see that the eraser is, we're on the eraser tool. Now, if we erase this, you see how clean it is. But we can decide to come, you right click and change the hardness to, let's say, 25%, 22%. And when you try to erase, you see how soft it is. So it is softer. So it depends on what you are trying to work on. You can change the opacity, the hardness of your eraser, and also the size. Just the same way you change the size and hardness of your brush. So the eraser tool and the brush tool, they are very similar tools. Very similar tools. So what the brush tool does is that it draws, and what the eraser tool does is that it erases in the same manner. When we come to the brush tool, there are different kinds of brushes. There is the, under general brushes, we have the soft round, hard round, etc. You can just play around with all this. There are the special effect brushes. Say you want to draw hair on somebody. I don't have the hair brush here, but it can be added. Later on, I'll show you how to add different brushes also. Photoshop. But say you want to use the, okay, let's look for special effects. Let's use this one. So when you draw, it comes like this. You see, it's just like just see it as having a special brush. If you're an artist, having a special brush for different effects. So say we want to create something that maybe require this, you just come back here to your brush and just play around with it. Okay. Again, as we see, or as you can see, you can easily erase. Let's change this back to 100, the hardness. You can easily erase, you can erase your paintings because you are on a new layer. Now, a shortcut for changing the size. Say you don't want to come here and change the size, or you don't want to come here to change the size of your brush. There's the, what's it called? It's called the bracket, right? Let me see. You find these tools on your keyboard. This is called, I think it's called parentheses or something, or brackets, I guess. So you find this. So this one at the left here, this one here takes the size or it makes it smaller. While this one here makes it bigger. So instead of having to come all the way to eraser or brush, and then you're coming here to change your brush size or eraser size, you can just make do with this on your keyboard. That's the shortcut for changing the size. Okay. Then we'll take away this layer. Okay, before taking that layer away. Now, the layer tool is really essential and important. I think I said this is the panels we'll be working most to it. Now, when you are on your layer, let's say this is the lines, remember, you can toggle it on and off. So when you click on this eye icon here, it turns off, and when you click it, it turns on again. So you can change the opacity of whatever is on that layer. You can change the opacity of whatever is on that layer by coming to opacity here and dragging. You can drag left and right, or you can still come here, drag it like this until it's where you want it to be. You can also come here and impute the figures of how you want it. I'll give us an example. Let's look at how the layer can come in handy. Okay, so trying to hide this icon. Okay, just move it here. So we can see that this the text we have here have different opacities. This one, welcome, the first welcome here, you can see it's at 100 here. The second one here, you can see it's on 90. The third one is on 80, and the last one is on 30. So all these layers here, this is welcome. They are called text layers, right? They are called text layers because what is on the layer is text. It's as simple as that. So you can change, you can alter the opacity of your layers, and it just gives you it depends on what you are trying to achieve. Like here in this design, I was trying to make it look like the welcome is fading as it goes down. Let me zoom in. So I was trying to make it look like the welcome is fading as it goes down. So the first one, I made it 100. Second one, I made it 90. Third one, 80. You can follow up here. Fourth one, 70, 30, 60, 50, and 40. Then last one, you have 30. So that's just to show you that you can play around with your opacities also, your layers. Then coming here, we have what we call the blend modes. Let me switch on this. We have what we call the blend modes. Now we'll come to this layer one here. Now this layer is at the top of every layer. That's why the text is behind the back. If I drag this to the back, you can see that it goes back. If I drag it up, right, let's say I take it here, it comes up a bit. I take it here, it comes up a bit. So the reason why the layer one is here is because it's on top of, I want my image to appear at the top of the text. Now, here we have what we call the blend modes. You can play around with this also. If you want to darken your image, this is darken, multiply, color bond, linear. You know, there are too many blend modes here. You'll be making use of all these blend modes as you go ahead to learn design. Here we have, let's look at multiply. Multiply just basically makes, let me show you what it does. It just darkens your image, and just like it makes it more or less transparent. So whatever is at the back of the image or object will be can be seen through. Basically, that's what it does. Multiply, which is similar to darken. So, like I said, depends on whatever you are working on. You can play around with your blend modes here. Okay. So going back to this. We'll see how opacity, sorry. So the line here, the first one, like I said, we can change the opacity like we did in the other example of text. But coming down to the layer at the back, which is of the girl, you can also change the opacity and just makes it, and it just makes it go down. Like I said again, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Opacity and feel are similar. They are similar, but I'll show you how I'll show you how the feel differs from opacity in a future example. That's that for the layers. I'll move this back to this place. Okay. They also have, we also talk about the text. Last week we learned, or we taught the text to a bit. But I just want us to go through it again before we actually design something. This is the text. This is the text tool. Basically, what it does, like I said, is just to add text. So if you to add text, what you just do is you come to text and you double click, and then you just write whatever you want to write. So I'm going to write this training or train. Let me write train. So just make it a little bit bigger. Just drag it out. Now, when you are trying to alter your text, whatever text you have, you always have that in your character. So here, this text here is a Champion Gothic. That's the font we use. So this font style rather is Champion Gothic. So you can come here, change your fonts, right? You can change your fonts. You can change your font here. You can change your font style here. So this is train, right? So it's on middleweight. If I change to lightweight, hold on. This is featherweight. This is bantamweight. This is lightweight. So it depends on the size you are aiming to get or you're looking to get. Here you can change the color, right? You can change the color of the text here. You can change the font size here. Say we want it to be 5 pixels, or say 20, let's say 30 pixels, 30 points rather. You can change it here. Yeah. Let's say enter train station. Train station. So if you play around with this is going to alter the spacing between each line of your text. So if you come here, you drag to your right, make it longer, you drag to your left, makes it shorter. This tool here is for setting the tracking for selected text. So basically what you just do is if you drag to your right, it's gives space between every single letter, and to your left, it does the reverse. As you can see, it does the reverse. Alternatively, you can come here and change the values if you have actual values or exact values you want to work with. Okay, so that's that for the text tool. That's that for the text tool. Now to say let's go to, say there's a particular font. Let's assume I want a particular font. This is train. I want a particular font I can't find here. I can't find here. The particular font I can't find here. What you just do is that you go online and look for the font you want to use. Then So in the drive here, I uploaded some fonts that we can test out. So this is the Buffalo font, for example. It's an example. So it's already downloaded in my PC. So I go to where I download it. This is the Buffalo. And then open it. So what you want to do is you just want to, it's very straightforward. You just want to click, double click, and you see install here, and just install it. So when this installs now, you come back to Photoshop, come back to your font here, and search Buffalo. Okay, it hasn't reflected yet. Usually it reflects after you restart your system, but sometimes you don't have to restart. So when you restart your system, you find the font there. It's as easy as that. So using the tools we have learned, I want us to go over and design either of these three flyers. So I'll start with the so we'll start with this. So basically now we want to design this flyer because we have learned some tools. Obviously, we've not learned every single tool here, but while we are designing, we'll pick them up along the way. I want us to use what we've learned so far, the tools, the panel, the layers, the text box, and everything, to design something like this, right? Something like this. What I'm going to do is I already have this in my system. So if you are following along, what you just do is, you come to File, Open, and download, and go to where that file is on your system. So this is where it is on my system. I want us to, this is a flyer I saw on Pinterest and I liked it. I want us to use what we've learned so far to work on this flyer. So the first thing is that you can see that this flyer is a square, right? So a square means it is 1:1. What we're going to do is we're going to come to File, New. We learned how to open a new file yesterday. File, again, File, and New. Okay, and you come to here, your preset details. We're going to name this tests flyer or flyer. I don't know. I think it's flyer. The test flyer. So anything being a square means that the width and the height will be the same measurement. So if you're going to use, let's say, 2000 pixels for the width, the height also must be 2000 pixels. You leave every other thing as default, and then you come to create. So that has given us a square, right? Has given us a square. The first thing we want to do is, when you want to design a flyer, the first thing you want to do is you want to come to View, right? You want to come to View and come to Guides, right? Again, View, Guides, New Guide Layouts. One more time, View, Guides, and New Guide Layouts. So what this guide does is that it just helps you, like the name, it guides you. It helps you stay in line. I like to always know where the center of my canvas is. The center, the vertical center and the horizontal center of my canvas is. So I will take this gutter. The first thing I'll do is this gutter should be on 0. That makes it initially, if you see when it was on something else, let's put it at 20, for example, so it's double. So make sure it's on 0. And then the number of columns I have. Now, the columns are the vertical lines, right? So I just want 1, or rather I want 2. I want 2 columns. So it's the line at the center tells me that this is the vertical center of this canvas. Okay, now for the rows, by default, this row is going to be toggled off. So you're going to toggle it on. And just like the column, you want 2 numbers of column, and then the gutter set to 0. You can change the color of your lines, of your guidelines, to whatever you want it to be, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or if it matters to you, you can change it from here, and then just click OK. So again, what this does is that it tells you that this is the center of this is the horizontal center of your canvas. Why? This is the vertical center of your canvas. Horizontal center, vertical center, and this is for alignment. Okay, so we can look at what we have here. Now, while I'm doing it, why I'm doing this is because I want us to be able to draw. Most times when you are designing a flyer for the first time, sometimes you are just blank, or you may just be blank. You don't have any idea. So you can look up ideas of already designed flyers, either from Pinterest, social media. They're everywhere. In fact, that's how I started to learn. I would always save already designed flyers or designs on my phone at the time, and then one by one I would replicate that same exact design by myself. So in this situation, we want to redesign this flyer, right? We want to redesign this flyer. Instead of us going here, what you can do is you come to Windows, right? Come to Window, Arrange, right? Again, come to Window, Arrange, and want to choose. If you choose 2 up horizontal, it's going to appear this way, right? But if you choose 2 up vertical, it shows this way. I prefer this. So it depends on what you're working with. If I was working with a rectangle, let's say something like this. A flyer that has this kind of dimension, I'll choose 2 up. I'll choose this one, the horizontal one. But because I'm working with something that doesn't require, that is more or less portraits. It's not portrait, it's square, but it's more or less portraits. I'm using vertical. So I want to do this, and this is what we have. So the first thing you want to do is draw your background image. We learned how to use the rectangle. Now, basically, last week I asked what design was, and someone told me that graphic design is essentially a combination of images, texts, shapes, and colors, right? So you can see this design now that we have here. That is basically what we have here. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. This is what you think. This is text. This is an image. This is a shape. This is an icon. These are actually icons. This is also a shape. So that is just what it is, basically. So it's just how you bring together all these elements, your pictures, your colors, your shapes, and all that, bring them all together and use it to make something that is, appealing, that sends the message. Remember, it's a form of communication. But what we want to do, first of all, is to what I will do is I will draw my shape here. I'll draw a rectangle first of all. Yeah. Draw a rectangle. Now, mind you, the rectangle here is white, but I'm going with a blue because of the background is already white. So if I made it white, for example, we'll not be able to differentiate the rectangle from the background. Alternatively, and delete that, what we can also do is we can change the background, right? We can change the background, and I'll take my layers up a bit so everyone can see it. So we can change the background, and you can come here. I have this thing stopping me. Okay. So you can come here and come to this one here. This is the first, second, the third one, and you click on this icon.
Hello, Stanley. Sorry, I'm going to take you backwards a little. So I'm trying to get how you were able to bring these two images together. The flyer you have by your right and the blank space. How are you able to bring it? Can you please go back and just explain?
Okay. So I would go back to how it was before. So first things first, that you want to make sure that your image and your canvas is open on different tabs. This is your image, right? And then this is your canvas, the new file we created. So you want to make sure that they are both open on different tabs, and then you come to your canvas, then go to window, right? And arrange. So what we are doing is that we're arranging it vertically. Like I said, if I was working with a rectangle, I would arrange it horizontally, because that would mean I'll be able to see my screens clearly, or clearer rather.
Yeah, I got this, but you said you have to bring them to different tabs. How did you get the tab? Because it's different from the layers, yeah?
Okay. All right. So what you want to do is I'll start afresh. So first things first, we come to file. You want to open up where this is saved in your PC, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you open it up and you have it here. So when you open a file, it automatically becomes a tab. That's what happens.
Okay.
So for you to create your canvas now, or have your canvas, you come to File, New. Remember, we are working with a square here. So File, New, and this is a square, 2000, and create. That's what you have. So now you have the file open here, the flyer open here, and you also have your canvas here, your empty blank canvas here. Then you come to window, arrange, and I would arrange it to up vertical. That's what you have here, to up vertical, and there you have it. Did you get that?
Yeah. I got it. Thank you so much.
Right. Now, we're saying that if we use a white rectangle, we will not be able to differentiate the rectangle from the background. So what we want to do now is we want to change our background, right? And to change that, you come to layers. You come to layers, sorry. You come to layers and then come to this icon here that says create new fill or adjustment layer. So basically what we're adding is that we're adding an adjustment layer or fill layer. In this case, come to solid color. Solid color. Then you can move this to the top left corner. If it's here, it's going to be white. So let's change it to something else. Let's say, just for also differentiate the background from the foreground, let's change it to say green, or this color, this shade of green, and you click OK. So after you do this, you can decide to come and delete your background layer, but let's leave that. When you do this, what you want to do is you want to lock, click on this lock icon here to lock the layer. Why we're going to lock it is because if we, let's say, if we leave it unlocked, for example, and I want to add a rectangle here. I want to add a rectangle here. And then we're trying to select everything. You won't be able to select it because you have something at the background moving. So what you need to do is just lock the layer and you can easily select, as you can see here. So we're going to have that locked. To lock it again, we come to the layer and just this lock icon here. So now it is locked. We can't move again. Okay, now we have our rectangle. For me, that's the base, having the rectangle. That's the base, having the rectangle. The next thing is that we want to add a background image, right? You can see these guys, this flyer have a background image here. So let us come here and add a background image. We're going to sales. We're going to, sorry, place embedded. We're going to use okay. Can use this. This was something I was working on recently. We can use this for a background image. Right? And then, okay. Then come back to layers. Now, I would always encourage that your let's make this big. I would always encourage that when you are designing like this, make sure that your layer is a smart object. Make sure that this layer is a smart object. By that I mean you just come there, come to the layer, and okay, let's assume that it is not a smart object. This way it is. If you have it, sorry, you can see this layer here. You can see this icon here. This icon at where my cursor is. It shows that this image now is a smart object, and it's always best to leave your images or your layers as smart objects. The reason is because it allows you more flexibility to edit them later on. What do I mean by that? Let's say I want to draw on this layer. I won't be able to draw on this layer because, hold on, brush. Let's say I want to draw on this layer now, right? So we have this now. If I want to erase what I have just drawn, it's still the same principle as having a new layer. I would need to I won't be able to erase what I've just done. But if it was left as a smart object, as you can see here, mind you, what I just did was I just press Ctrl Z to take me back to what I had before. So Ctrl Z is to undo, while to redo is Ctrl Shift Z. Sorry, Ctrl Shift Z to redo it. Undo, Ctrl Z, redo, Ctrl Shift Z. So if I have this as a smart object, what I'll just do is I'll double click on this, and it opens up this image. You can come here, add a layer, and draw. When you do that, you press Ctrl S. Oh, sorry, you need to flatten this image, and to do that, you are going to hold both of them. Like you click on layer 1, then hold Shift and click on layer 2 also. Then you right click, and you can flatten the image here, or you can also merge layers. Then Ctrl S. When you click on Ctrl S, what happens is that it takes you back to, you come back to your other layer and say the change has been reflected here. We're going to undo that. Just save it. Okay, so back to what we're designing, or what we're talking about. We want to make sure that this layer is a smart object. It's just best to leave it as a smart object. Then you want to take this layer to the background, or to the back rather. You want to take it down above this color. So this is your, when you are trying to change the size of your rectangle, if you just click on your rectangle and you just drag, what it does is that let me show you what happens. If you just drag it, what it does is that the size, or the ratio remains the same. It gets bigger, but the ratio remains the same. So it's just getting bigger. But if you want to just change the ratio, you hold Shift and drag it. So the ratio can change this way. Hold Shift and drag any way you want it to be. You can drag this way, hold Shift and drag this way. Just say it will be affected. Hold Shift and drag this way. Just say it will be affected. But if you don't hold Shift, what happens is that it just gets bigger, and if that's not what you're looking for, you hold Shift and drag. I'll make this bigger again. Okay, coming back to our flyer. There is an overlay on the background image. So that's the overlay could be a rectangle, or just a shape, or just a solid color. But let's add a rectangle to what we have here, to this image. So what a rectangle that stops just at the edge of the rectangle, of the previous rectangle, which is the white one. Change the color. So I want us to work with this same color that you have here, which is cyan. So to get the color, you come to your shape, which is your shape, your rectangle tool. Click on it and come to this place here, which is fill. Come to the fill and click on it. Then this spectrum of colors you have here, also click on that. So now you have your color picker. You can now choose whatever color you want, or you want here. If you want the same exact color, you just take your mouse outside this box. So once you take your mouse outside this box, whatever color it lands on is what it's going to be. So we want this color. Well, we're going to click on this and have it. then you press enter. Okay. So now we have the same exact color on our own design. We can see that the background image is no more visible. That's because this guy is just above the background image. That's the reason. But we want it to be at the top, right? So what we'll do is we're going to reduce the opacity. We'll reduce the opacity. And there we have it. But in this case, so for us to see through, we can take down the opacity. But in this case, it looks like what these guys did was that they changed the blend mode of this shape. So we'll come here and we'll go to multiply. We'll change the blend mode to multiply. And there you go. That's what we have. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to lock this layer so we don't have to. Personally, I make sure I always lock all my layers. So lock this one. They want to add the text, right? We want to add the text. If you see something, Control R is to bring out the ruler tool. The ruler tool, Control R. If you see something here, you see that. Okay, sorry. If you check here, you see that this. Hold on. You see that that was on this now. Okay. Let me consolidate on tabs. If we come back to this design here, we can see that the text here is on a line. You can see it's the text here is on a line, and also this second text here is also on a line. It means that they were both aligned to the left in this case. What you think and interesting live interviews were both aligned to the left. So we're also going to implement that in our own design. Arrange. We'll implement that in our own design also. Okay. So just add the text here that says what's my default is. I want to change the size of my text to 24. I can add. So it changes to initiative. We want this text to be similar to what we have here. So we're coming here. Let's just use what you think. What you think. What you think. We want to align this to the left. Align this to the left. Come here. We change the color to white. And then now this icon here means that my text will be in all caps. So if I unclick it, comes back to normal. What you think? I want to use a font that is similar to what they have here. There are ways to actually get this font. You can use Font Finder. I'll show us how to do that later on. You can use Font Finder to get the same exact font that they have on the design. But we want to use let us use this one. No, I like Poppins actually. Let us use Poppins. Let's use Poppins. Okay. Then this two for so initially the lines were far apart. But what I did was I came to this tool here, the set leading, and I changed it here. And I change it to 18. 18 is too close. You can leave it as auto, but for the purpose of this design, I'm going to put it on 23 or 20. Let's put 24. 23 is okay for me. So 23. So you have 23 here. Nice and easy. Then, so here, there's a shape here that says EP5. So what you do is you come to your shape. Come to your shape here, your rectangle tool, and choose the ellipse. And then just hold your shift key. Remember, if you just draw without holding your shift key, your ellipse or your circle would not be a perfect circle. What you want to do is you want to hold your shift key and draw your circle. Again, we'll use the same exact color that is on this design. So come here, and click on it. So you have that same exact color. But what is there is EP5, right? Now, if you want to make this double, you want to make your text double, you want to double it, or like what I have here. Hold on, sorry. What I have here, just hold your Alt key. I said it in the last class. You hold your Alt key and you drag out. So Alt key, drag out. It makes you duplicate your text or whatever you have on your layer. So I'm going to duplicate it now and write EP5. That's on that file. EP5. I'll bring this to the front here and then make it smaller. Make it smaller. You can either drag until you get what you want, or you can change the text size from the characters. I'll just drag here. Just drag here. And okay. Also, I'll change the color. I'll change the color of the text there. To change it, just come here and pick the color you want. I'm going to use something dark really here. Okay. And zoom out. Select this and move it just the top here. Whatever you have. I still think this is the line in here is the line space in here is very far. So I want to make it smaller. Let's change to 20. Okay, this is okay then. Then select again and You have it. Now I want to write. We're going to use a smaller text now to write the body. So I'm going to change my font size here, my text size to around 10. Now 10 is too big. Let's put it at 6. And then it's going to be regular. Interesting. Then also change the color, just so you can see. So interesting. Reasons you need to visit land before you turn 58. Okay. Make it smaller. Then again, come here and change the sizing or the spacing of the line. Spacing of the line. Changes to, I think it's 2, yeah, changes to 0 here. There you have it. So if you can see the text here, you see how it's like it is aligned here. It's almost like, let me show it to you. It's almost like there's a line. There's a line here, like this. Change it now for so you can see it's also as if there's a line here. That's how it is. So we want to make ours that way also. We'll come back to our text, and it's quite easy. Just enter here, Poland. So very, very easy. I want to make sure this and this text and also this one, they are both aligned to the left. So you come here and click on, you select them first of all. To select them, you can either click on it, hold shift, and click on the other one, or you can just draw over them like this. Then you come here, align to left. So if you align both of them to the left in this way, it would not look very, very aesthetic. Let's go back to what we had. Okay. So moving on to what we have here. Sorry. Moving on to what we have here. We have this circle here, right? What we're going to do is we're going to, on our own design, we come here and draw a circle. Now, this time you don't have to hold your shift key because we don't want a perfect circle. So you just draw a circle that fits what you want. In this case, we want something that's like an egg, more or less. And this is what we have. So you come to your options. This fill, make sure the fill is set to no fill. This white and red icon here, no fill or no color. And you click on it. So the color goes away. And then you come to stroke. Change your stroke color to white or whatever color you want it to be. And then add stroke. You can see here that now we have something similar. But I feel like our stroke is a little bit faint. So let's add one pixel to it. Let's make it 2. Okay, that's better. Remember, you can still transform, you can select, and then still transform transform this by holding Shift, however you want it to be, by holding Shift. When that is done, you just need to just have to duplicate this shape. To do that, again, hold your Alt and drag out. Sorry. Just need to hold your Alt and drag out. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to hold it, select it, and just press Ctrl J. When that happens, you just automatically duplicate that layer, Ctrl J, or hold your Alt and drag out. So let's use, since we've used Alt in the past, let's use Ctrl J now. So you select it, press Ctrl and J. What it does is that it duplicates the layer. You can see here, ellipse 2, copy. Then you make the shape smaller. To do that, you come at the angle here and just come at the angle here, hold Shift and drag down. So when you have that done, you can then select everything again and align it to the center here, up here. After selecting, come up here to the options bar and align to the center, vertical center, horizontal center. And there you have it. You can see that if you want it to be as tight as this one, you can just select, make sure you lock the previous layer and just select this one and just drag it out a little bit. You can see, just drag it out a little bit. Then you unlock it, unlock the layer, come to select again, vertical center, horizontal center. There you have it. So, okay, let us make this evenly symmetrical. I can play around with this. Yeah, see, this is what I need. Okay. Now that you have that, we are going to put in a text there. I'm going to put in a text there that says, what do you think about I'll duplicate this layer and write it, what do you think about Poland? And then select all, align to center, just like that one there. Then you drag and make it small line. Okay. I'll zoom in again. And I'll come to characters just to, this is very, very thick or bold. So I'll change the font type to semi-bold. That's okay. Now I'll also come to the line spacing and make it say 10. 10 is too much. Let's take it to 4 to 6, sorry. I think 6 is okay. So we have the question mark up, obviously. I'll come here, duplicate this layer again, and question mark. Just play around with it. Just play around with it. So basically, everything we are using to create this design is just what we've learned, and it's just basically text, layers, colors, illustration, colors, icons, and shapes. Then also images, nothing else. It's just how you master or how you learn your software, which in this case is Photoshop. That's what is important. So what I just did here is I duplicated the question mark sign and rotated it. So to rotate, what you do is you hover your cursor just around your object, and then the icon changes. You can see it changes to a bent arrow. So when it does that, you just right, left, that's all. And take this closer and this closer also. Then change this to medium also, just so it looks smaller. Change it to also medium, so it looks smaller. There we have it. Then make it bigger. Okay. Okay, so we're done with the top part of design. Now let's just go to the other part. What we'll just do is we just come to, again, as you can see, this is a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle, and this is also another rectangle. So what we want to do is we want to draw rectangles. What do we draw? How do we achieve that? So obviously the rectangle tool, come to rectangle and just draw a rectangle. After drawing the first rectangle, you just duplicate it basically. Or in fact, before we duplicate it, you can see that this rectangle, the edges are curved, right? We have the left top and bottom edges curved, but we don't have the right curved. So what we want to do is we want to apply that same principle here. So we want to apply it here. So what you do is you click on your rectangle, then come to properties, which is what we have here, properties. Just, if you can't find all these things there, just drag it down. This is very, very flexible. Just drag it down. Come to properties, and this icon here, this chain icon here, you want to click on it so it unlinks all the edges, and then we can now start. Can now come here. Let's make it. Let's make the corner radius. Let's say about 30 pixels. Is that similar? No. Let's make it 50 pixels. Good. Well, we're going to make the top and the bottom 50 pixels. You can see here is as curved as what we have here. So after doing that, you just hold your Alt again. Hold your Alt button and just drag out to duplicate it. Alternatively, you can just press Ctrl J. It does the same thing. When you do that, you want it to be, we have to make this face the other way. So you come again to properties, and this icon here, properties, this icon here, which says flip horizontal, you click on this, and that's what it does. It flips it horizontally. So now we have our image. So our shapes. At the same time, we also have We also have what's called a yellow shape, probably a rectangle at the back of both shapes. So we want to also get that done. Draw it and change this to yellow. Sorry. Change this to yellow. You want to make sure that your stroke is at 0, unless you need your stroke, it should be at 0. So duplicate this also. And so we want to make sure that they are both aligned properly. Then you can see that the shape, the yellow shape here, is at the back of these two images. So we want to take them, you come to your layers here and drag. You can press your shift button to select both layers and then just drag it down. So now it's at the back of both images. Okay, now what we want to do is that first add the images now on this first add the images on this shape. We're going to import the image we want to use. To import it, we come to place embedded. Again, file, place embedded, and want to use this guy. Select this guy. So obviously it's very, very big. So you're going to make it much smaller. This is how it's going to be. So this image, remember, we want this image to be on this shape. What we're going to do is we're going to find where the shape is in our layers panel, which is here. So you put it directly above the shape here, as you can see. And you click on, you right click and go to create clipping marks. So what we want to do is we want to create a clipping marks. You make sure that the image is above this shape here, then create clipping marks. And that's it. So you can then move it as much as you want it to move. In this case, we want it to be as big as this guy. So let's zoom out. Let's expand it, make it a little bit bigger. And then, okay. Sorry. Then we change, we also add, we also want to make it black and white, right? So you also come here to this adjustment layer, black and white, as you can see here, black and white. You click on it. Now, the black and white filter has affected everything. Let me show you. It has affected everything going down here. It didn't affect this one because this one is above it. It affected everything going down here. But we want to just affect just this image. So what to do is you are going to you're going to go to, you click on your black and white again and go to properties, which is here. And this icon here, you click on it, this icon. Alternatively, you can also right click on this place and click on create clipping marks. Same thing like the former one. So we have that. And we would import our second photo our second photo, which would be let us use this girl. Now this second photo has to go above this rectangle. So that's where we want it to be. And you transform, you just make it smaller. You make it smaller, and just like before, create clipping marks. And you can just transform it again, make it bigger, bigger. And you, just like before, you can add your black and white filter from the adjustment panel. Come to black and white again. On this icon, you click, or you right click and go to create clipping marks. Same thing. Now, mind you, you can adjust how intense you want your black and white to be. You can change the, look at this, you can change the reds with all these sliders here. You just play around with it, how you want it to be. So I think I like this. So we have this set. I want this to be a little bit smaller because it looks like it's taking so much space. So we're going to select it and make it smaller. Just drag a little bit to make it smaller. Then you align it again. So in this case, we want to make sure that it is always aligned to this line here. We want to align to this line. It's interesting. We will drag again and move it a little bit. You can use your the arrow button on your laptop to move it. There you go. Okay. Then so what else do we have on this? So we also have text here, but the important thing here is getting these icons. This is a YouTube icon. This is a Facebook icon. This is Twitter, and this is Instagram. So obviously you can design them yourself on Photoshop, but that's a very long route or a longer route. The best thing to do usually is to download the icon from this website. Use Envato. Use Envato. So social media icons. Alternatively, it can be gotten from Google, social media icons. Okay. So images, we just download. Okay, now we want Instagram, right? So Instagram icon. Download this. Yeah. Save image. Just download to your Instagram. Then we have YouTube, obviously. YouTube icon. Download it. Facebook. Facebook icon. You download. And when you are downloading, make sure you download similar icons because there are different icon styles. Make sure you're downloading icons with similar styles so your design is in order. Then Twitter. I don't really think we have to use Twitter. Let's just go ahead with what we are doing. So now I would copy this text. Okay. I would copy this text now. Now change the color immediately because if I bring it here, it becomes invisible. So I change it to something I can see, black. So I can bring it down. Watch us on YouTube. On YouTube. So what you do now is you come to File, Place. You go to where your file was downloaded or where it was saved. For me, it was saved here. So I come here and I just click on it. Now, mind you, when you are downloading stuff like this, you need to check for the one that has a PNG. That's a PNG file. Because if you download a file that is not PNG, I'll show you what happens. I'll show you what happens. Okay, so this is what we have, right? This is what we have. Then you can obviously still add the other icons. There's something I want us to do. I'm going to save this file, right? I'll save this file as a PSD. Remember what a PSD file is? It's a file that it's called Photoshop document. It means that you can edit a file. So I'm going to save this file and upload it on the drive. So what we're going to do is that we're going to complete these designs ourselves. Like we have just the text here and the other icons here left. I want us to be able to complete the design ourselves. There are some things that have not been added here. This is width, right? This is the width. We're going to add this also. You're going to add the text here and align it. Add this other text here and also align it. I want us to complete this design and upload as our first assignment. Now, the second assignment is that I want us to work on this one. Something like this. I want us to work on this exact design. So you just copy it the same way I copied mine. Yeah. Align it on arrange it on your Photoshop and design. I want us to design this. So we have two assignments we'll be doing, or two projects we'll be working on. We're working on this one first of all. This one is quite easy because I'm done already. But I'll upload it and just let us complete it ourselves, right? We're going to complete it ourselves. You can, if you have the time, you can still play around and change this image. You can put yours there, or whatever it is you want to put. Play around. And why I'm doing is that I want us to see how the PSD works. So you can come ourselves and check out all these layers by ourselves. and see how it works. You can toggle this on, toggle this off, just in case there's something that is that you're not getting at this point in time. You have all the time in the world to just go through them at your own pace later on. But at the same time, please, I want us to work on this design. Now, the fonts we're going to use for here, for the gospel, is that we're going to use this font style. Sorry. We're going to use Oblong as the primary font. That font at the top. Sorry. So for here, this is gospel concepts. The font that is expected to be used is Oblong. I'll show us how to install fonts. Now the font is on the drive here on Photoshop. It's on the drive here, sorry. It's on the drive here, just install it. You can also install Astrid and Buffalo and just play around with it. For Buffalo, we have this width here. So instead of using just regular fonts, install Buffalo and replace and add a WITH here in the PS that I'm going to upload. You can also use the Buffalo font for this FEAT. Now, briefly, I know you may be asking how this cross sign was made. This cross sign, just in case you are working on your own projects later on, let me show you briefly how it was made. I believe it's very simple. This cross sign is just basically shapes, right? So I'll do it very, very quickly. This is its one. This is its one. Then you just duplicate it this way. Then you duplicate this one again. Come to properties. And okay, you can't do that from here. So you're going to just right click on this image, on this, or you press Ctrl T to transform it, your rectangle, and then you right click and rotate 90° clockwise. Alternatively, you can come to the top here, and just set this angle here, this icon here. Just put 90. It also rotates. Then come here also. Make it shorter. Just make it shorter. After doing that, enter, duplicate it, and you are good to go. So we are going to be making this same, in addition to completing the PSD that will be sent. We're also going to be making this design. Just for us to be very clear, we're making this design. Every single thing that we've learned so far can be applied to make this design, right? So that is that for today. Any questions, please? Any questions? If you have questions, you can throw them at me while we're on class.
Stanley, I have a question. Let's say peradventure you want to delete something from the design, something, let's say text or an image. How would you be able to do that at this point, seeing that you cannot use undo? Hello?
Can you say that again, please?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm asking, let's say on this image here, you want to delete something at this point, maybe an image or a text. How would you be able to do that?
Do you mean on this one we are finished?
Yeah, let's say whatever design, let's say for example, this design we have right now, and you want to delete, let's say the words you think.
Yeah.
How would you be able to do that at this point, saying that you cannot use the Ctrl Z?
Okay. So to delete this, what you just do is you just click on it and backspace, delete. Alternatively, you can go to your layers and find what exactly it is that you want to delete. Click on it and backspace, or you can drag it to this delete icon here, this bin icon,
Oh, okay.
and it goes away.
And it works same for the image, for any
Yes.
image. Okay.
But then you need to delete them, obviously. Like we can't delete this one, for example, because it is locked. So you have to unlock it from the layer, then you drag and backspace. This one too, and the other one, drag backspace. Or in fact, the best way is just backspace, because coming to your layer panel and then dragging is all hard work. Just backspace, delete, and it goes on.
Okay, thank you.
I will be uploading this file. This is the PSD of this design. I'll be uploading it to the Google Drive so we can edit it, right? We can complete this design and edit it. Also, just to remind us, we would also be working on this other design. And I would encourage everybody to submit the assignments this time. Okay, the app I'm editing with is Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. The link to download the app is in the WhatsApp group chat. So I can, in fact, I'll highlight it now so you can download it if you don't have it yet.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Please, sorry, I always ask a question, but this drive, we are talking about now, but I am really, following your teaching. But in like, I have tried this Photoshop in other PC, so it will always, lead me to a payment, a payment place. So why? I don't know. I have tried it in so many ways. Sometimes it will take me to payment store. So I don't know whether it's my PC or the way I did it. So that is my issue. I don't know. It's not
Okay.
free. Yeah.
Sorry, first of all, for the noise, that was my problem. Then the software I sent to the group is free, 100% free. You don't have to pay. You said it links you to somewhere else.
Yes. No. Sometimes when I'm tired, so it will take me to a place that's a Microsoft Play Store. So from there they will tag me to pay. So I have tried it in so many computer and
No, sorry.
yeah.
Just so that we don't what will happen is after this class,
Yeah.
you can send me a message on,
Okay.
then I'll just guide you through the installation.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you. God bless
Use a
you.
PC, right? Like not a Mac.
Huh?
use a PC, a Windows PC.
Yeah, but I am using an old one because I upgraded to from 8 to 10. So
Oh,
I only have a 4 GB. So it's not even enough to carry the software.
no worries. We would find a software or a version that will work for your system.
Okay,
Just
thank you.
after the class.
Okay, thank you. God bless.
All right. Thank you everyone for being a part of the class. See you guys on Saturday.